Hello everyone. Today we're excited to present part 2 of Kachiyasai, a centuries-old event that has been preserved for over 1,000 years and showcases the origins of the samurai featured in the hit American drama Shogun. Let's get started.
TV reporter and photographer Anna introduces the lesser-known parts of Japan that tourists don't often visit.
Let us bring the excitement of travel to you, dear. In part 1 of this series, we talked about two simultaneous uprisings. In the Seto Inland Sea region of western Japan, a man named Fujiwara no Sumitomo turned pirate and attempted to take control of the area. At that time, the government strictly regulated trade and imposed heavy taxes when using the port of Hakata. As a result, local powerful families and merchants were greatly troubled. Fujiwara no Sumitomo was not just a notorious pirate, he was also a hero who represented the voices of the local people and stood up against the oppressive central government. However, to the central government, this was an intolerable rebellion. In the capital of Kyoto, they feared Sumitomo's growing power and sent an army to defeat him. Brave samurai were dispatched to the Seto Inland Sea to bring down Sumitomo. When the punitive army arrived, Sumitomo, holding on to his beliefs, faced his final battle. Fierce fighting broke out on the sea. Ultimately, the punitive army emerged victorious, and Sumitomo was captured. His rebellion came to an end, and the region was once again under the control of the central government. However, even after Sumitomo's death, his sense of justice remained in the people's hearts. He is remembered not as a villain, but as a hero who fought to protect the people, despite being swept along by the tides of the times. Sumitomo's rebellion is not just a historical event, but a story of justice and courage that is still told today. There are many legends surrounding the final days of Fujiwara no Sumitomo. Additionally, there are some intriguing anecdotes. Let me introduce a few of them. Captured and executed. According to some legends, Fujiwara no Sumitomo was captured after a fierce battle and taken to Kyoto, where he was executed by the central government. His execution was meant to serve as a warning and a demonstration of the central government's authority, shocking many people. The vengeful spirit of Sumitomo. There are also legends about the vengeful spirit of Sumitomo. After his death, it is said that his spirit brought curses upon the punitive forces and the central government. Many stories particularly highlight the misfortunes that befell the warriors who defeated him. These legends of his vengeful spirit symbolize Sumitomo's strong will and lasting presence. Sumitomo lost to the sea. Another legend tells that in his final moments, Sumitomo chose to throw himself into the sea. According to this story, he chose to die in the ocean and is believed to continue to exist spiritually as its guardian. This tale reflects Sumitomo's deep attachment and connection to the sea. Sumitomo and the Dragon God. Some legends suggest that Sumitomo had a deep connection with the Dragon God. Stories tell of him receiving the Dragon God's assistance in battles at sea or cooperating with the Dragon God to protect the region. These legends highlight Sumitomo's spiritual power and his ties to supernatural beings. Final moments in battle. Fujiwara no Sumitomo fought bravely until the end against the punitive forces. Despite his valiant efforts, he was ultimately overwhelmed by the sheer number of enemies and succumbed. His courageous stand in this battle left a lasting impression on many people. Sumitomo's comeback. Although Fujiwara no Sumitomo experienced defeat, it is said that he attempted a comeback. Stories tell of him rallying local support and regaining strength to challenge the central government once more. His efforts to rise again inspired courage in many people. On the other hand, around the same time in the eastern region of Kanto, Taira no Masakado led a rebellion. In eastern Japan's Kanto region, a hero named Taira no Masakado rose up. Masakado was a young warrior who stood up to protect the weak and challenge the unjust rule. He was determined to seize control of the region to fight for the people's rights. 12 Masakado's name echoed throughout the Kanto region, and many farmers and local lords sympathized with him, offering their support. He stood against the corrupt central government to forge a new era. Masakado called himself the new emperor, raising the banner of justice and equality. However, the central government in the capital saw this as a rebellion and sent a military force to defeat Masakado. Many samurai joined the suppression forces, and the Kanto region was engulfed in a tense atmosphere on the brink of conflict. Masakado fought bravely on the battlefield, risking his life to defend his ideals. In the ranks of the suppression army, there were renowned warriors like Fujiwara Hidesato. They too fought for their own sense of justice. The battles between these two were fierce, shaking the lands of Kanto. The renowned warrior of this time, Fujiwara no Hidesato, is the legendary samurai who fought against the giant centipede. He is also said to be the first samurai. More details will be introduced in the later videos of this series. In the end, in the year 940 AD, Masakado was defeated. The final days of Taira no Masakado are told as follows. The battle grew fiercer, with the clash of swords and shouts echoing across the battlefield. At the center of it all, Taira no Masakado fought valiantly, wielding his spear. At that moment, an arrow was shot from afar. Fujiwara no Hidesato, a renowned master archer, had his sharp eyes fixed on Masakado. The arrow sliced through the air, flying straight across the chaotic battlefield of friends and foes. Masakado noticed the arrow. He reacted instantly, trying to deflect it with his katana, but the arrow's speed was too great. As if guided by fate, the arrow struck him right between the eyes. In that moment, a flash of surprise appeared in Masakado's eyes. Despite the intense pain, he remained standing. But eventually, his strength gave out, and he collapsed to his knees. His followers cried out in despair, and the battlefield fell silent for a brief moment. When Masakado took his last breath, his existence transformed into legend. His death was not merely a defeat, but was remembered as the end of a hero. Those present at that moment would never forget the epic scene. And his courage and passion for justice left a deep impression on people's hearts. Even after his death, his spirit was enshrined at Kanda Myojin in Tokyo and continued to be revered by the common people of Tokyo. For more details about Kanda Myojin, we will introduce it in a later video. Stay tuned. Next time, we will delve into the spiritual legends surrounding Taira no Masakado, anecdotes about the first samurai, Fujiwara no Hidesato, and the connections between these stories and modern-day festivals. Stay tuned.
That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. I'll be back soon with more content, so stay tuned and take care, lovelies.